Let me ask about tariffs and where you think things stand, what you expect to happen to the tariffs from a legal perspective, and how you're confronting them yourself at this point.
Well, we had a huge announcement. The Trump administration announced that they're looking at 232 tariffs for heavy-duty trucks. This is a really big deal for our country and for Ford. Companies like PACCAR and Ford, we make all of our heavy-duty trucks in America. We have a lot of competition from overseas, and a 25% tariff will be a really big deal. On the parts tariff side, for the vehicles we do build in the United States, there are a lot of parts that we don't make in the U.S. Those are getting tariffed 25, 70%. And we need to make those more affordable. It's a $2 billion headwind for Ford. It really restricts our future investment. We're working with the administration. They've been incredibly open on solutioning around that. And I'm very optimistic we'll find a solution on the parts tariff, but a lot more work to do. I think, we're closer, I think, to solving some of these tariff issues.
Jim, when you think 10 years out about what the car industry looks like in America, assuming these tariffs are here and they don't go anywhere, I imagine it becomes a completely domesticated market. I don't know if you think that's a good or bad thing. I wonder whether these cars will be able to even be exported. And I also wonder whether Americans are going to spend more money for frankly, cars that are not as competitive as cars that might be available in parts of Asia and Europe.
Well, thank you for asking this question. The car business is definitely regionalizing quickly. But look at Ford. We make almost all of our vehicles in the U.S., and we're the #1 exporter. So people in Canada, around the world, they love their Explorers. They love their Super Duties and Transit vans, Mustangs and Broncos. We can do both, but we need flexibility on importing parts because that is the key part. 20, 30% of our parts, we need to be able to import them, in a way without huge tariffs to make our vehicles more affordable that we do make here. But you're right, 50% of all vehicles sold in the U.S. are imported. Those countries have $5,000, $6,000 advantages on labor, currency, and some countries like China subsidize their companies. And we have to face this. What Ford is doing about it, we're not complaining. We're going to take care of this ourselves. We just launched the Universal Electric Vehicle Platform in Louisville. We think it's the same cost as a BYD made in Mexico. And we're trying to out-innovate our competitors like BYD. I don't think we can stand still. We can't rely on, a North America or U.S. only market. Companies like Ford have to out-innovate our Chinese competitors. We're already facing them in Australia, New Zealand, in Thailand. They're subsidized vehicles. It's happening already. Ford's a global company, and we have to match that challenge. We are not going to be a vibrant company or country if we just build a huge wall around the United States.
So, Jim, one of your competitors, General Motors, I guess, quietly abandoned that 2035 promise to make all EVs. I was thinking about that, and it's going to be 2026 soon. I can't even, it boggles the mind to think that anyone ever thought we could get there, but I don't know whether you've changed your outlook. I think that GM finally decided they're going to invest in some ICE, internal combustion engine technology, and acknowledge it's going to take decades. Will Ford strive, even if it's 2050, to be all EV? Is that the future, or what kind of decisions do you have to make now about what Ford is?
Well, we have to make those decisions now. You're absolutely right. We're a 5 to 10 year outlook company. Our products take that long to develop. Look, Ford has never made a statement about being all electric. We are #3 in hybrids. 30% of all F-150s, the best-selling vehicle in the United States, are hybrid now. We invested in hybrid. We never stopped investing. We never saw our country being all electric or all combustion. That makes no sense. Customers in the U.S. are really smart. We want to offer them a range of vehicles. We will offer an affordable EV for city use. We've been #2 to Tesla for 3 years on the EV side, and we learned a lot from the EV cycle. These $70,000 EVs with $30,000 batteries, that is not the future. We think E-Revs, hybrids make a lot more sense. And if you're towing a Super Duty, for your job, you're not going to want an electric vehicle, maybe not even a hybrid. So we need to offer people a range And what we like about the government now, their position is, look, you know, why don't we sell a more reasonable electrification footprint like hybrids at a natural demand? I think that makes sense for Ford.